Hello. Okay, it's not going to work. All right, so we're going to talk about twin rays. And why are we going to talk about twin rays? Because I just did a reading on a person who thought was a twin flame, who isn't a twin flame, but a twin ray. So there's no one here yet, but I'm waiting. But I thought I'd start because sometimes I start these videos and then they're uploaded on YouTube and there's absolutely no sound. Or there's just me scratching my nose. Hi, Stephanie. So we're going to be talking about twin rays. We're going to be talking about twin rays. We're going to be doing an oracle reading for the collective. And if you want to hang out with other people, you're welcome. Welcome. Martha Skinner. So I'm just waiting for more people because I don't want to start from the beginning. It wouldn't be fair. If you want to share the live, feel free to share the live. Again, we're going to be talking about twin rays because I think that people don't understand what twin rays are. And I just now finished the reading. I'm so excited with a twin ray. So I think it's actually brilliant to exactly. That's why I'm waiting, Stephanie. I'm waiting for a lot of people to pop on, and then I'll explain what a twin ray is because a lot of people don't know what it is, and a lot of the BS twin flame stories that you guys are hearing out there is not for twin flames. It's for twin rays. And that's why people are so confused whether or not they're in a twin flame journey. And that's why when I meet a twin ray in this whole 12 months, well, it's almost 12 months. I doubt I'll see another twin ray this year. I've had 5 twin rays in my readings, only 5. Okay. And out of all my readings I've done this year so far, I'd say about half of you coming to me, you are in a real twin flame journey. Some of you are not, or some of you are in what I would call a twin flame, a shadow twin flame, shadow. So I'm waiting for people to get on, and I'm being shadow banned just so you know, because I don't just talk about twin flames. So if you guys want action, because I'm not going to start until I get at least 12 people. If you could share the live, that would be really cool because it would help a lot of people get on and get some real truth. Because after Twin Flame Universe, which was on Amazon Prime, and after the debacle of the Twin Flame show, which is on Netflix apparently, there's a lot of there's so much ugliness. And there's so much hustling. And Cora is talking about twin flames and saying the most ridiculous things that are actually connected to twin rays. They have nothing to do with twin flames. And after doing this reading today, just now, literally, I'm on the heat of it. I just finished this reading with this wonderful young woman who is a twin ray. And as I did her reading, right, we did the numerology, third party, all of that. There was definitely, the numbers were talking. Let me tell you, my friends, when I do the numerology, when clients come to me to do a reading, first thing I do is a numerology. That's the first thing out of the door because I need to understand what life paths you guys are on. And I don't mean the single digit, I mean double digits. And of course, I don't want to get too much into it because that's not why we're here today. We're here to talk about the twin ray. So what is a twin ray? The twin ray, because we're going to start now, we got a lot, 11 people, but keep sharing if you don't mind. I just watched it last night. I saw the red flags in that organization on Netflix. Nothing like a twin flame journey. No kidding, I know. Absolutely. And I'm not sure what the Netflix was. I don't know if it was a show on the same journalist on Vanity Fair. I literally have it on right now. Oh, that's funny. But let's talk about twin rays. So twin rays, and I've talked about it in many lives, but I have had a lot of people ask me, twin rays are souls that are very ancient. This particular lady is a soul, because I had to tap into the Akashic records, is a soul that was born before even this universe was created. So she's very ancient. She goes back, and some of the downloads were unbelievable. I'm not going to get into it because it's private, but I will say this. As I got into the final reading about the about their connection, and I went, wait, hang on. And I finished, I was damn near almost finished with the reading. I looked at it and I sat back and went, holy shit, you guys are twin rays. And she said, what do you, you guys never fight, do you? She goes, no. I said, you've never had an altercation, no fighting, no ego, no running, none of that, right? She goes, no. I go, so you've been looking at twin flame stuff going, it's me, but it's not me, right? And she went, yes. I was just thinking about that today, washing the dishes. And I said, yeah, because you have the bond of the twin flame, stuff, but you don't have any of the egoic issues that plague twin flames. You guys are twin rays. And I said to her, so but just to slap the ego down, you're twin rays, but you're on the kindergarten level. So you're not on the level of Yeshua and Mary Magdalena, right? But you're definitely on the ascension bullet train, and you guys are going to make it, but you can't loop into the egoic framework of the monkey mind of the 3D, right? Because our monkey minds, when we incarnate, let me just regress. When we incarnate into these bodies, okay, it's kind of like a spiritual lobotomy is what it is. We have most of us have complete amnesia. And so she has been looking at twin flames galore, right? Going, but it's me, but it's not me. It's me. And I kept saying, isn't that what's... And she was like, yeah, that's exactly what I've been thinking. It's me, but it's not me. I go, yeah, because you're twin rays. And twin rays, they didn't separate. Okay, they didn't separate because they did bad or it was a timeout or learn your lesson. No. They're in separation. In fact, they're not in separation. They're constantly talking. But they're in physical separation only because he's got shit to do and she's got shit to do. They're soul contract with other people. They are trying to get into alignment with their own soul's power. They need to not be muzzle lions anymore. They need to rise out of the ashes of what they thought was real. I did an Akashic reading for her, is what I call an Akashic reading, which is a 90-minute reading. And in it, we started with her spirit animals and right into her... and her animals were fucking I was like, what the hell's going on here? He was like, what? Because I was like, and I was asking my guides, what's going on? What is this? And they were like, just keep going. And I was like, okay. And it was all in alignment. There is no pain. Does it make the separation less painful? Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because hi to all of you guys. I'm just going to say hi to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Because think about it. They're not in separation. They're not talking. They're talking. They're just not ready yet to do X, Y, and Z. And it's not because of a lack of trying. They're not in that place of lack, despair, whatever. It's an evolution. They're coming out of the cycles of the amnesia that, from what I saw from her past lives, she's been under for, I would say, 2,500 years. By the way, that would be true for many of us, if not longer, but on the side note. But she was a highly, highly evolved soul incarnating on this planet way back when, and I got the sense of 6,000 years ago, okay? And in an Egypt we wouldn't recognize, by the way, just so you know. But anyway, with that said, and so she's the things, the damage of the reincarnation wheel, which was, by the way, very accepted, by the way, in many of the Hindustani culture. If you look at, there's this famous painting where you see a child coming out of the grave, and a boy, young boy, man, old man, death, back to the crib, right? That whole concept of a conveyor belt of incarnation was a truth for many of us. So we gathered a lot of trauma, lots of trauma, because many of us would incarnate like 3-4 lifetimes in a 100-year period. Can you imagine? And so many of us have digressed to a twin flame consciousness. Do you understand what I'm saying? The amnesia was so profound for us, and the self-loathing and regret. And there's a video I did on Atlantis and how it fell, and many of us felt such shame. It felt like something out of of being expelled, thrown out of Eden, you know, Adam and Eve, right, being thrown out of Eden. Well, yeah, well, that was more likely how we felt when Atlantis collapsed, and we were probably on a higher level of twin rays then, but then we collapsed into the twin flames that we are today, right? Well, apparently that didn't happen to this client that I just did a reading with. Pure ass twin ray, beautiful energy, Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, Jerry Hicks and Esther Hicks energy. In their case, they're young, okay? And so it's not time yet. It's not time, that's all. Why does the masculine community align in 5D but won't acknowledge the telepathy in 3D? I don't know. Everyone's different. The enchanted empath, because that's his soul. His physical self might not understand yet. Beautiful. Not me, no trauma for me. Hi, Tony. Beth. Hey, how are you? Maybe Aaron and I are twin rays then when you're saying describes us so far. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't know, you know, because it can be high-level soulmates can also have a very beautiful, calming energy together. But what I saw in this reading, there was no doubt that it was twin rays. Okay, this is what I do. I read, but also her past lives showed me some pretty extraordinary past lives as a starseed on other planets. Okay, and so there's that too. Do you know what I'm saying? That would confirm it. So it's really interesting. So there's a lot of moving parts. It's not, oh, here you are, a twin ray. No. It's not just because you get along that you're a twin ray. There's all these other moving parts, though you may be. You know, is it better to give up and move on to release quicker? There is no better, because even if you try, Michael, we've all tried to cord cut, all of us. I tried to cord cut 2 years ago. Today, I live with my twin flame, and we're happy. And we're finally happy. So I don't know. 2 years ago, I would have paid anybody to cut the cord with me and my twin, because I was in such pain, a dark night of the soul. So there is no better, quicker. It's just you've got to walk through the pain. It's like walking on coals, baptism by fire, and I can tell you that because I've lived it. So and I've survived it. So there is something about moving forward. Hey Tony, sending lots of love and light. Thank you, Paulina. That's really kind. Sending it back to you with much love. So excuse me, any questions on that? Yeah, you're right, it's coming to 3 years. And it's interesting too, because my twin flame was asking me about we were talking about the cycle, you know, of evil that had started. He said, I guess we're starting now. I go, no, we started in 2020 when COVID lockdown. That's when it started. We got 2 more years and we're out of the woods. I just cut so she can take care of the kids. I understand. I totally get that. You got to do what you got to do. And if you do it for the higher good of other people, like in your case, the kids, that's beautiful. And when it's time, it'll be time, believe me. And just like I cut my connection with my twin many times over the course of, say, 15 years because of my son. Okay? So, you know, we do what we have to do. So let me give you 2 announcements. One is my book Recall will be out November 18th. It looks really promising that it'll be out November 18th. And so I'm going to put a little video about it on my TikTok. And if you guys want to pre-order, you can. If not, you can go on. I'll give you the link to Amazon, you know, and you'll be able to check it out. And so forth. So it's actually based on true past life recall, you know, and it was originally published by a small publishing house in 2012, and I released it as a fiction because I didn't think anybody would ever believe that shit was possible. And to be honest, in 2012, people would not have believed it was possible. And today we're in a much more expansive consciousness. So what I'm going to do now is ask you if you would like to do a quick oracle reading for the collective, and and maybe I can answer some questions. So are you up for that? Are you up for an oracle reading? And I just got this deck, Lightworker Oracle, which I adore. I adore it. So if you guys are up for that, we can do that. If not, I can. Okay, great. All right, cool. So what I need you guys to do is, oh, thank you, all of you, okay. What I need you to do is give your angels, guides, and allies permission to guide you in this session, and just be aware that you are here, so the reading is going to be you. Remember, this is not a tarot reading, this isn't a message, okay? So the message is for you. It's not make it fit, don't make it fit. Okay, this is a message directly for you, because you're all amazing. So I'm going to shuffle the cards, and when you're ready, you're going to just say, you're going to pick from the top, middle, or bottom. Top, middle, or bottom. And I will pick what I see mostly typed, you know, the most typed. So top, middle, or bottom. Top, middle, or bottom. Hey, Tony. Bottom. I'm stopping now. Top, middle. I'm just waiting. Hang on, let me see. Bottom, top, middle, bottom, top, middle. I feel like there's a lot of, okay, I'm going to go top because I see a lot of that. Oh, hello. Initiation to 19, number 19, invitation to connect. Invitation to connect. So let me go ahead and get to that page, 19. And I'd like you to close your eyes and listen with your body. 19, invitation to connect. Love exists throughout our universe, both in this earthly dimension, which most of humanity considers the one and only reality, and beyond. Love exists, thrives, and manifests itself in infinite forms. These are countless loving beings dwelling in expansive realities of higher consciousness who do not belong to the human race and yet are aware of the spiritual plight of humanity and are willing and able to help. Whilst some fear the unknown, and that fear expresses itself in a closed mind or a reluctance to express ideas that others may ridicule, you have an open mind and an open, receptive heart. There are beings from other worlds that recognize you as a receptive channel for their unconditionally loving assistance in this world. You will benefit from this individually and help the planet. So you are being offered an invitation to connect. The universe is a very interesting place. Life is a wild, divine expression of creativity, strange beauty, mystery, and sublime order. It is not limited to the sacred canvas of Earth. This is incredible. I just shared with you guys that this client that many of you are starseeds, right? You get that, right? All right. There are many dimensions to existence. The physical body of the earth resonates with the frequency of the material plane, so we can see, touch, hear, taste, and feel life here. It appears to be tangible, real to the five senses. For those who are developing evolved sensory perception, the senses will not be restricted to perceiving, feeling, or being impressed upon by life in the physical dimensions. There are higher dimensions that the psychic nature can recognize, and even more refined dimensions that the higher mind can perceive through the sensitive apparatus of the heart. Beyond that, there are dimensions that the mind in its most expansive state cannot grasp, but the spirit knows to be real. The more your sensitivity to subtle energies evolve, the more aware you become of the worlds beyond this one. To you, they are real, yet to another who cannot sense as you do, they are not. For some, this will be very easy to accept and will inspire curiosity and interest in learning more. For others, there may be some tentativeness around exploring connections with non-earthly beings. Certainly, in mass consciousness, if the idea of life beyond Earth is accepted at all, rather than scoffed at being weird or foolish, it is typically responded to with curiosity, laced with suspicion and fear. Whilst fear of the unknown drives hateful discrimination, many beings have mastered the lesson of tolerance and inclusion and can express this in their earthly lives. Here, differences are not feared, but embraced as an expression of diversity which is divine and serve to to highlight the secret underlying unity that pervades all existence. Such wisdoms opens the hearts to love beyond the limits of mainstream consciousness, allowing for an expression of love that is truly expansive and soul-enriching. Great peace can awaken in the hearts of fearless humans upon to the idea of loving beings that are not humans themselves, but are nonetheless aware of humanity and have the spiritual power to be able to stimulate human spiritual evolution. To truly accept that there are beings who know and love us, who will help us whenever they can, bring a sense of wonder, comfort, and reassurance and joy to the soul. It can restore a sense of trust that no matter how mixed up and consumed by pain the world may seem at times, there are many powers of light working to see Earth and humanity through this most interesting time into a new age of spiritual enlightenment. For the souls truly invested in healing humanity, knowing that the task is shared by many advanced beings is a great comfort. Many light workers are very sensitive to suffering and may struggle not to becoming despairing in response to the enormity of the healing required to liberate all beings. Knowing that there are advanced forces committed to the successful and loving evolution of humanity can lighten our hearts and further inspire us to have confidence in the part that we can play in this great spiritual masterwork. If you have been contemplating life beyond Earth, perhaps talking to the stars or gazing wistfully at other planets, feeling attracted to and intrigued by the mysterious codes of light and sound embedded in genuine crop circles, or simply feeling that you would like to work with beings who are more spiritually evolved than humanity at present, then you are being given a clear message. There are beings in other worlds that are very aware of your open, loving attitude and the work you are doing. They are actively responding to your thoughts and feelings. We live in a free will zone on Earth, so for one being to be able to offer assistance to humanity, there must be an invitation first. You've got to give them permission. That's what she's saying. If it is because you are unafraid and resonate from a place of peaceful curiosity and higher level awareness that you are capable of issuing an invitation to those who can assist humanity from a place of unconditional love. There are forces in the universe, just as there are forces here on Earth, that would not be so helpful to the triumph of love on this planet. To issue an invitation to the forces of light that we want to increase on our planet requires a peaceful heart and a wise mind. The invocation below has been carefully and simply crafted for that purpose. You are asked to use them whenever you feel the need to do so, knowing that you are part of a bridge between humanity and other loving worlds that genuinely want to assist life on Earth and have the capacity to accomplish it. They thank you now and offer their blessings to you and to life on Earth in all ways possible. Here's the invocation. As a member of the human race, through my own free will and for the greatest good, I will call upon all beings that resonate with the quality of unconditional love and spiritual enlightenment, who wish to assist humanity and Earth to evolve on the path of divine love. I ask for the unconditional loving ascended masters that serve Christ's consciousness to be the gateway through which permission is confirmed for these beings to enter Earth's fields and assist humanity according to divine will, grace, and love. May all beings be happy and free. So be it. Wow. That was a card of all cards. Amazing. So be it. How do we share the live? I don't know. I really actually don't. Hang on. Oh, there's a little arrow next to the house and the planet. There's a share. I just saw that. No wonder I feel depressed. I wonder if he does too. Let me see. So click on the arrow on the bottom right. Thank you. So let me talk to you about egregores. Egregores. There are some books called egregores. There's a particular book, I forgot the author's name, but he was interviewed by Regina Meredith on Gaia. If you don't want to read the book, at least watch the interview on Gaia.com and just put egregore. Make sure it's Regina Meredith, Open Minds, and you'll see the interview. But anyway, I bought the book and I read it. And egregore is an interesting concept. Have you guys ever read or heard about egregore? Do you guys know what I'm referring to, or should I explain it? By the way, this is Rachel. Hey, this is my new account. Oh my God, how cool is that? The Enchanted Empath. I love it. I love that name. Okay, please explain. No worries. Okay, so egregores. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a dark example and a more or less benign example. So, Apple computers, right? You know, Steve Jobs and his buddy. So Apple became kind of an egregore. So an egregore is when people focus their energy on an entity or it could be a company, in this case Apple, and it becomes a spirit. It develops a spiritual force. It becomes a being, a non-sentient, right? So it's more like an energy field, and it starts growing and growing and growing into a type, you could say, of a personality, of an energy. And so Apple became that, right? Apple, right? Because it had this, if you think about it, it has people who have Apple computers and they love it, and they're like obsessed with it. And it has this incredible, for many people, a good feeling to it. And it's not a negative. If you think of it, I personally don't feel as Apple as a negative energy. Okay, I'll give you another example. An egregore would be people who, a small group of people who pray to Baphomet, right? And an egregore comes out of that, and this egregore could be passed down from generation to generation, and so this becomes like an entity. So creating that, Baphomet is another word for Satan, or whatever you want to call it, on that level. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is kind of work on making sure that you create the right egregore. Does that make sense? So in yourself, the beautiful egregore would be these light beings, right? These giant light beings that love us unconditionally, that help us usher planet Earth into 5D. That would be kind of that energy, if you want, or attracting light beings. You know what I mean? So when people are super, super negative about something and they focus on it, there's an energy from that group that becomes a company or a group or whatever that turns into this energy of its own. You know what I mean? It rolls into its own energetic force, personality, if you will, because of all the energy that's being pushed by these individuals that surround and create this force field. Does that make sense? I'm not probably explaining it correctly, but if you watch this guy and you just look up egregore, Gregor. Okay, EGREGOIRES, egregores. It's something you should learn about. And I might not be explaining it correctly or to the fullest, level. No, it's not egregore, it's egregore. So it looks like this. I'll spell it. So it's Gregor. Let me see. And it's something you really need to learn, all of you. And you'll find that when you understand this, yes, energy is contagious. Exactly. Thank you, Frankie. That's very kind of you. So it's what she's saying for Starbucks coffee. It's a lifestyle now, egregores. No, it's not a lifestyle. When I tell you literally, it's like creating Baphomet or whatever. I'm not joking. It is that. There are people who have done circles and have done rituals, and they've brought up energies that were pretty weird and negative. I'll give you an example that's not an egregore. So you have a contrasting energy. Dr. Joe Dispenza was introduced by Lilu Mas, Lilu, Lilou, Mas, M-A-C-E. And if you type in her name with Dr. Joe Dispenza working with giants, you'll see him in white background. I think she's wearing a white blouse, and she's blonde, she's French, she's got a French accent, you'll see it. And he working with giants, and he talks about, I've spoken about it in lives here and there, sparsely. But anyway, he has, I don't know if you guys know about his retreats, but in the retreats, one of the things he talks about is how he has a healing room, okay? And in that healing room, okay, and you need to watch the whole 57-minute show interview, or else you're not going to get what I'm saying. You're going to miss out on all the nectar. And in that healing room, for years, he didn't say a fucking thing, but there are titanic light beings from other dimensions. And one of the things that I really loved, and I'd experienced that when I did, when I visited the grandfather, because I almost got red flagged this morning when I was talking about medicine, plant medicine. But anyway, so I'm not going to say. If you guys know who the grandfather is, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I was taking the grandfather, and I got the same message Joe Dispenza said he's had with his light beings. So there was a healing room, and as he always has them, and the light beings were there, and they telepathically spoke to him and said, look, the energy in this room is so low, really, really low. And so we want you to raise the frequency of this room, because if we lower our frequency anymore, we will lose our consciousness, and we love ourselves too much to lower ourselves anymore for a concern that we will lose our consciousness. Did you guys get that? Now do you understand how intense this is, being in 3D? And when I visited the grandfather said to me, we want you guys to ascend, because when we come to your level in 3D, it's like going through boulders and walls, thick, like cement, like it clogs our nose. We have to bury ourselves through these walls of rocks and stones and go further down to reach you. Yes, we want to ascend. I think that's a perfect segue to this oracle card we just read, because it's about you guys trusting the fact that you have these light beings in different dimensions. Hey, for all you know, your ancestors, when you guys were in your true form as starseeds, right? In different planets. And they're your ancestors today. You know what I'm saying? From those past incarnations. Your ancestors aren't all on this planet. I hope you get that, right? If you believe you're a starseed, then you must realize that you have ancestors from other planets. I hope you know that, right? We are the disclosure disclosure that we've been waiting for. We are them. When I got into hypnotherapy, okay, and I was talking to my LBL hypnotherapist before I took the classes and became one myself, I remember reading Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls like 10 times each time. I'm not kidding. I read it again and again and again. That's good brainwashing, by the way, to do that kind of reading. And one of the things I remember is my hypnotherapist, and I'm getting that too when I do my sessions with my clients, 30% of hypnotherapy sessions, get this, are people remembering their lives as star seeds, as different humanoid species and other species. 30%. That's pretty intense, isn't it? And even in the Vedas, and the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas, right? Vedic scriptures talk about other planets and other dimensions. And that was written, I hear different things. I hear 10,000 years ago. I hear 7,000 years ago. Okay, so let's lowball it to 7,000 years ago. That's pretty intense. The Sumerian tablets talk about other beings that came and created us. Zachariah Stitchin is the translator of, I have the book, I'm actually looking at it right now, called The Complete Earth Chronicles. It's literally, it's called that. The Complete Earth Chronicles, it's called that, by Zachariah Stitchin. And the reason why all of this is important is because when people ask me, well, how is this related to twin flame? I'm like, what the fuck? If you think you're a twin flame and you know you're a starseed, that means your twin flame's a starseed. That means you better know your beginnings, and you better know how far you fell, to what level you fell, and why you fell. Fell into 3D amnesia, right? And it's very important, isn't it? So to understand that, you have to breach through all of these dogmatic teachings in the last 2,000 years, let's be real, and then go beyond that and breach through the membrane of amnesia. And once you come back, first you got to recapitulate, right? You got to recapitulate all the way back, as far back as you can. You're allowed to, through the guardians of the Akashic and your own soul's wisdom. Your soul might say, look, we're going all the way back to here, but after that, no. You don't need to know you're not ready for the going beyond that. You're not ready. So we're going to go all the way here. We're going to do 6,000 years, or we're going to do other planets, but we're not going to do all the planets. We're not going to remind you of your very origins, not yet, because you're not ready, because it could blow your mind, and it could really make you feel overwhelmed, you know. So we're going to go this far, but not farther than that. The soul is very wise. It knows what portals to open. It knows what's best for you. So that's why sometimes when you do a hypnotherapy session, you know, the client might say, yeah, I want to know what past life I had as a starseed. And the soul will say, yeah, well, we still haven't addressed your mother's issues. So we're going to do that first in this incarnation, in a couple past life incarnations. And then when you've done that work, then yeah, we'll go back to your starseed incarnations. Does that make sense, guys? So it's about understanding. Thank you, Frankie. You're so generous. We have to wait in many layers over consciousness. Yes. I don't think I'm a starseed. Though so extra shocking, I'm an earth baby. It could be. I don't think my guides talk to me. Bashar talks a lot about this topic. He channels them. I know. He gives me the most interesting downloads. I don't even know how we could have alien spirit guides make sense as a starseed. No, totally. It's totally what is happening. It is what it is, you know? And that's why when you listen to Tim Wilde, you can listen to Tim Wilde. He has a YouTube channel. He does Meditation Monday and Friday Ascension on YouTube. His name is Tim Wilde, spelled with a H, W-H-I-L-D. And he's the guy who I first really, and it resonated with me, by the way, when he talked about how we graduated from having 7 chakras to 9 chakras. I knew he was right. The minute I heard it, I got chills through my body, and I knew he was right. And we have this Earth star, the star gateway above our crown chakra, and and it goes. We have a lot of chakras, by the way. I know you guys know that. But in terms of the somatic chakras, when he said 9, I knew. So that's why. And then I realized later on that the Harat chakra, which is the belly button chakra, the womb chakra, they fucking used this shit 10,000 years ago. Whatever, the Vedas. Again, here we go back, right? So there's a lot of beautiful knowledge out there, thank God. And so make sure, like I have a lot of books that I order. And to be honest with you, I can't wait till I can sit down one day and just read them. One of the guys that, I'm being told that one of you is into the Knights Templars. I'm telling, yeah, one of you out here is a Knights Templar love. And that, so you need to look up Freddie Silva. It's for you. This message is for you. Go up and look up Freddie Silva with a Y, Freddie with a Y, Silva, S-I-L-V-A. And I want you to look up his Knights Templar book and get it. Because that's going to activate your own sense of failure and your own sense of, I screwed up, you didn't screw up. One of you is a Knights Templar. Does that resonate with anyone? I don't know why I never do this kind of stuff. So who is it out here that is a Knights Templar that knows you were there during the crusade? Okay. Is that you? Di Amada Bays? Is that you? Okay. No, it's a feeling. I'm asking. The person who knows, the message is for, I do know, you said? Just say yes. Okay, there's someone out here who knows I don't know why, but you need to go and look up Freddie Silver's, his book on night. Just go on Amazon, look for it, Freddie Silver. All these books will come out. And for someone else who's dealing with illness, you need to get the book Secrets in the Fields. Secrets in the Fields. There's someone that's dealing with an illness. I don't know why I'm getting these downloads. There's someone who's dealing with illness, and Secrets in the Fields, Freddie Silver. That's another. There's 2 messages. One for someone who's Knights Templar who's dealing. It could be the same person, by the way. It could be that, I don't know. Because I do know that there was an unbelievable massacre of the Knights Templars. But some of the stuff you're saying resonates. I don't think it's me. No, I hear you. But I'm hoping that the person this is for can step up, and not be shy. Because it's not the time. So it would be nice if the person who this is for. Knights Templar, the Crusades. But it wouldn't have been so much the Crusades as the Knights Templar. Can you type it? I was a knight before. Oh, okay, Knights Templar. Got it. It might be you, Michael. Let me go ahead and just respond to you directly. Okay, hang on. Let me give it to you. So Knights Templar. I don't know the title of the book. I know it. It's in my library, but I can't do this right now. By Freddie Silva. You're gonna look that book up, my friend, because whatever. And and you can look up his talks on YouTube. But go get the book. I've been dealing with illnesses since last year. Okay, so the book for you is Secrets in the Fields. It's about it's the crop circles. I know this sounds insane. You guys are gonna think I'm insane, but I don't give a shit. Secrets in the Fields. Okay. It's about crop circles, and what you want to do, Secrets in the Fields, Freddie Silva has gathered some of the best photos of crop circles. Most of them are in, did you guys know that 75% of crop circles are in the UK? Okay, so what you want to do with the crop, find the picture you love from the crop circles, get it from his book, because they're viably real crop circles, okay? Don't get just pictures on the internet, because it could be fakes. It could be also AI generated. Get the book, Secrets in the Fields. I just responded to you. And you're going to take one of those pictures and you're going to put it wherever it ails you. They have reported that when you put a picture of an actual crop circle on your body, on anything that hurts, it heals it. Yeah, it sounds woohoo. Guess what? I did it. I used to have fibroids. And I did it for months. And there was a particular, in fact, I love the book so much, I bought 3 copies because I wanted it at my fingertips. You know, I get them used on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, excuse me, eBay or thrift books or whatever, right? And we do not think you're insane at all. It's so cool listening to you get downloads live. Yeah, that was weird because I never get them. Can I do it for my neuropath? Of course you can. You can do it for whatever the hell you want. You can do it for whatever, similar to the patterns. Yes. And did you know that these crop circles are in the UK, and the UK is considered the heartbeat chakra, the heart of the world, right? The heart chakra of the world. So the heartbeat, right? Thank you. And what was interesting is that crop circles are they're lessening and lessening and lessening and lessening every year, which I find interesting. And I remember listening to sound frequency, because the concept of crop circles, the theory is that it's UFOs landing, right? UFOs landing, and that's why it's happening. But I never believed that. What I believe, and this is my personal opinion, I've told you, those of you who've been following me for this whole year, I had forgotten to do a video on that, just time happened. But my theory, if you've ever looked at sand on a metal plate, when they play high frequency sound under the metal plate, what happens? Geometric patterns happens, right? Have you ever seen that? They're metal plates and they'll have sand on it, and it's just all covered with sand, and they'll play certain sound frequencies, and there comes the geometric shapes. And my theory is that crop circles are simply the Earth's frequency, electromagnetic frequency, that is being activated to create crop circles. Why? Because there's no burning. And the patterns of the wheat, right, being laid down, the crop, literally the corn crops or the wheat fields or whatever, there's no burning. It's a complete, like, it's weird. And I'm wondering what you feel about this theory, because I've never heard anyone talk about it. This is why I play sound bowl into my coffee every morning. That's wonderful. Frequency, yes. Similar to the patterns. Can I do it from, okay, so so frequency sounds. So if you guys aren't, just look up frequency, the word frequency, and metal plate and sand. Just look it up on YouTube. You'll see exactly what I mean. I mean, you know, and so and it's funny because it was a theory I've been playing around for fucking years, because I was like, I don't buy that it's a UFO landing. I really don't buy it. I just never bought it. But it came to me that it was that it was frequency at a particular vantage point. Just, you know, like we have earthquakes in the ocean, and we have the tectonic plates moving. We got all kinds of shit happening, right? Why couldn't it be that? It comes from the cities that are down there. It could be. It could be, yeah. So it could very well be. Or it could simply be the electromagnetic current of the Earth. Because it is a real thing. And I remember doing a live just a few days ago, where I talked about that they had a machine, they had like these electrodes. My mom bought them because she was an apartment dweller. And somebody on the live, I forgot which one of you it could have been, that said, oh yeah, that's the Earthing. So there's a company called Earthing, and I remembered it because it's in my closet right now. And so if Earthing is a thing, right, to help with the electromagnetic currents, frequency that we need to be okay. Because if you remember, probably you don't, but all shoes up until, most of the shoes up until probably the 1950s and 60s, mid 60s, were made, the bottoms were leather. And then, then the sneaker came in. And then every other shoe was rubberized, right? And we lost our connection. As long as we had moccasins or leather bottomed shoes, we could still connect with Mother Earth. It was like, we didn't even think about it. It was just part of it. But because most of us are living in sneakers and rubber bottom shoes, we're not connecting in that effortless ease we used to take for granted. It never occurred to us. So that's why it's really important for you guys to get grounded by taking off your shoes and socks, or putting at the very minimum your butt to the ground and letting yourself sit and get grounded, okay? Not with sneakers on. Don't stand up going, okay, I'm getting grounded with your sneakers on. Nothing's happening. Do you know why? Because you got the rubber between you and Mother Earth. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. The circles are just too perfect for a landing. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, and I've heard of the frequency creating patterns. Yes, and you can see it. It's all over YouTube, so check it out. And so my theory is that's what those crop circles are. Okay, and what's weird is that the frequency in the United Kingdom, something's changing, because we've gone from 75% of the crop circles happening, and we're down to 25%. Something like that. Again, I'm paraphrasing. You know how Thor beams up and leaves a mark? What is it? What if it's that, but sound or light from the... Yeah, that could be that too. Either way, it's a sound frequency. You're right, Michael. That's a great point. Did you guys hear this? Let me read it again. He says, you know how Thor beams up and leaves a mark? What if it's that, but sound or light from the beings? Yes, it could be. I just feel like it's a frequency. It's not so much landing that's giving that pattern, because every time it's a different pattern, right? And it's a complex pattern, okay? It's not like, I don't know, a circle and a little dot, okay? I would say, yeah, that's definitely UFOs. No, it's patterns, and they're always different. So check out The Secrets in the Fields by Freddie Silva. And you can watch Freddie Silva being interviewed on Gaia.com with Regina Meredith. He's amazing. They love each other. They actually did a particular 2-part series where they went into the caves of Portugal, I think. No, it was Sardinia, I believe. And it was amazing. Amazing show. It was a 2-parter. You may want to check it out. Any questions or shares? What are your theories on things that don't make sense? That we've been sold a bag of goods? Was there, Michael, were you the only one that actually had a connection with the Knights Templars? Was there anyone else that had that connection? Anyone else? Okay. Another thing that I thought was interesting is, hang on, let me see if I can get it for you guys, because I'm really on a roll, and my son's coming back soon, so I'm going to have to quit the live, but we're here and let's do it. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. If I can find it, though. Let me see. There's a book on Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. There's a lot of things coming out that they were all, I think it's called Parthenogeny. It's where it's divine conception. And this idea that the oracles of Delphi were doing that, had this gift of divine conception. So it's an ancient knowledge, and then it got lost along the way, over the ages as patriarchy. And again, not to denigrate the masculine in the group, we've all been the patriarchy, all of us. If you believe in reincarnation, you've been the patriarchy. I can't find the book right now. Maybe next time I'll set it up where we can talk about that. But what, let me see here. Okay, a friend recommended I work with Mary today because of what's going on with my mom. My twin was some general or leader during the Spanish Inquisition, but he wasn't a knight. Don't know about the Knights Templars, but was a knight. Okay. Yeah, Michael Wallace, that's pretty dope. Well, you could have been, yeah, well, the Knights Templar is a whole different thing. The Knights Templars believed in Solomon's geometry, sacred geometry, and Solomon's geometry. I'm probably not saying it correctly, but whatever, you get the sense, the energy. But the Knights Templars were quite evolved. They went into Jerusalem during the Crusades, right? And they connected with the people, the Arabs. And they exchanged a lot of incredible information. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but there were two sets of societies that kept our Western culture from collapsing. It was the Irish and it was the Arabs. And many of these scrolls and ancient books that had been burned through pillages and the Huns and all of these conquests, right, during what they call the Dark Ages, were copied by the Arabs and the Irish, okay? And it's because of those two people, right, civilizations, that we have Plato, Socrates, Sappho, Cicero, and so on. If it wasn't for those two, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have anything. And people don't know that. So when you look at what the Knights Templars did, going back to these incredible men, many of them were incredible. Some of them, you never know, right? Anyway, they had a love of Mary Magdalena, and they kept the secret of Mary Magdalena. And Mary Magdalena, the story goes that Pope Benedict, during the probably 12th century, 13th century, I believe, I might be wrong, but thereabouts, right? Decided to combine the three Marys: the Mary who washed his feet, the Mary who was a hooker, and the Mary of Magdalena, and combine it into one, which was the first insult to the sacred feminine. And so there was a card today that I read, and I'm going to read it to you, actually. Hang on for a quick second. I'm being told to read it to you, so I'm going to do it. It's 44 in the Mystic of Magdalena, okay, which is an oracle deck. And I'm going to read to you what it says. 44, the truth is revealed, revelation. The power of truth will work miracles in your life as you align your soul personality with source. Speak with integrity. People will not be able to unknow the truth once it is said. Mary Magdalena holds the white feather of truth. Her story must be known, and the lost bride returned to her bridegroom to restore balance to the earth. Mary would have been no stranger to the Egyptian mysteries. She may have been a priestess of Isis Mot herself. Mot was the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. She was more than just a goddess to the ancient Egyptians. They believed the universe had an order to it, and it was Mot who kept everything in balance. Mot was extremely important for accessing the afterlife after physical death. Every person had to pass through the hall of judgment, where their heart was weighed against Mot's white feather of truth. If the deceased person's heart balanced with Mot's white feather, they could continue on their journey to the afterlife. If not, their journey ended in the abyss. This being influenced the morals and actions in the daily life of the Egyptians, ancient Egyptians. Speaking your truth may open you up to ridicule, but think of yourself as planting seeds for people to ponder on. Later, they may take root, grow, and flower. And here we are, damn near 2,000 years later, the truth is being revealed. So what was happening with the Knights Templar, if any of you have read the Da Vinci Code, right? Many of you have. They were the protectors of the truth. And the Holy Grail was, Mary of Magdalena. There was another thing dealing with the night. So since one of you is here, let me read to you this, because this was beautiful. The Guardian, be on your guard. Be aware as you venture forward. Deception is possible. Don't reveal where precious things are hidden. Stay silent. Now, what's interesting is if you've ever gone to France, into Paris, 50 kilometers, there's the Chartres, the Cathedral Chartres, which is, it's called the Blue Madonna. But they created it using Solomon's geometry. And these were the Knights Templars who built it. And they brought relics back from the Crusades and hid the knowledge of the truth of Mary of Magdalena. The knowledge that Mary Magdalena and Yeshua were married and had children was punishable by death and carefully guarded for future generations. Some believe this knowledge, the great heresy, may have been the reason behind the Inquisition. In 1212, I'm not joking, guys, in 1212, Templar Hugh de Lancy built the old narrow water castle keep on Carliford-Loo that flows out to the Irish Sea. Local legend says the Templars brought some secret scrolls to monasteries in the British Isles for safekeeping. These documents were brought to 5 places. 3 are known: Rosslyn, Glastonbury, which by the way is also known as Avalon, and a holy site on the shores of Carliford-Loo. As a faraway place, Ireland was a good choice for retreat. It is not generally known that one of the original Templars came to live here. You can still see fossils in the place names along the way to the keep. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? So there is a lot of truth being revealed and a lot of judgment being, we're seeing judgment and we're seeing injustices being, cleared. So righting the wrongs of the past. And there's no doubt that we are so lucky to be in the front seat of this evolution and truth being revealed. It's pretty cool. 3 people have said I've been Ragnar when I met them. That's interesting. Yeshua and Mary were twin flames, Heros, Gamos. No, they weren't twin flames, my love. They were twin rays. We're twin flames. Many of us are twin flames. They were twin rays, and that's completely different. I was just looking at buying the book of Mary Magdalena and always fascinated, and the Knights. Yes, fantastic. So you might, you probably have something there. I know that me and my high-level soulmates were my high-level soulmate was definitely a Knights Templar, and I was definitely one of his buddies. I've been his buddy many, many times. So what I would say to many of you is I did a whole thing on Zale. I just did it. So if you want to hear about the difference between rays and what rays are, I'm going to upload this again because I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to just, fill it up again with a repetition. I'm going to upload this on YouTube, just so you know, I promise. But what was I going to say? Let me see. Oh, yes, the movie. Okay, the movie I want you guys to check out. For many of you who are into that whole deal of Knights Templars, the Crusades thing, is called The Kingdom of Heaven and it's directed by Ridley Scott. Kingdom of Heaven, directed by Ridley Scott. Holy shit, what a movie. And that's going to give you an understanding of what was happening in that part of the world. There's something that was really fascinating I was always into. So when the Knights Templars came back, and many of the Knights came back from the Crusades, they had learned how to bathe. I'm not joking. As you know, they would bathe once a year. This was normal. Once a year, okay? And if it was necessary, whatever that means. Anyway, they had come back understanding bathing and communal bathing, by the way, and they had come back with the concepts of perfumes and silks and velvets and things of that nature, and gold, and on that level of that, and horsemanship. Okay, so when they came back, for a while, for about 100 years in the Dark Ages, there would be communal baths, very much like what they had done in Rome in the ancient Roman times, where they had these huge bathhouses where men and women would bathe nude, okay? There was no problem. It was just how it was. And if you look at the old tapestries, you can see it, because sometimes they show that, actually. Anyway, the church got involved and decided that it was bad form, that it was indecent and so forth. And that one had to cover themselves and so forth. There's a lot of shaming. And so the churches forcibly shut down all these bathhouses. And within a couple years, they have the first Black Plague. Isn't that funny? It's like, wow, right? So, cleanliness. There goes my night fantasy. What's the difference? Okay, do TFs always need to be in a relationship? No, they don't, and quite often they're not. They're not quite often, because sadly, there's a lot to work out, because the ego, the free will, is a double-edged sword. So they don't always get to do that, you know. But they are born to be in union. That's usually the goal. The goal isn't to just, because you know what, they could just as well have you, and we've done it quite often, where we don't incarnate with our twin, and our twin flame comes in a physical body. We're on the other side, and we're trying to root for them and help them, and we're kind of like one of their guardians, you know, one of their peeps, one of their light beings, that we're on that side. And then we switch roles. Then, you know, you're the one incarnating and they're the one staying on the other side. So when we incarnate together, yeah, usually the plan is, let's get together. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because you know, I remember doing a lot of past life regressions for myself, and through hypnotherapy and on my own, and for quite, I'd say, a good stretch of a few 600-700 years. I'm not kidding. My twin was nowhere to be seen. He was not incarnating. He was not incarnating with me, or when we incarnated, we were passing each other, like, you know, we'd bump into each other for like a few weeks, and then we'd never see each other again. That was like a common thing. And then so when you guys connect with your twin, and it's an in and out energy, but it's constant, yeah, pay attention. You're supposed to be in union, just so you know. But if your twin flame is hell-bent on not doing it, and they're hell-bent on losing, you can't, you just can't force them. You just can't. And that's why I'm really leery when people go to, what is it? What would I call these people? They're called, I don't know how to say it, any other, psychics, certain psychic, not psychics like me and Claudia and other people I work with, like Shay, more like, you know, psychics that don't have a lot of integrity. Yes, it happens, more than you think. And they'll sell you, you know, let's break the cycle of your twin flame and you were cursed, and let's do a love spell and things. I've got videos on love spells and why not to do it, and that's it. Lo, that's me and my twin. He comes and goes, but he knows where home is. Yes, he knows where home is, but he's not waking up, and so we have to wake him up. There are cycles if they don't heal or break their karma. Yeah, but we have to have karma to be here in 3D. You know what I mean? And it loops us back. Frequency match is a frequency match. So the goal is for all of us not to allow good or bad karma to bring us back in this 3D. Okay? If we're going to come back on planet Earth, let it be 5D. You know what I mean? That's the goal. All right. Well, I'm going to thank you all for being here. And I'm going to upload this so you can check it out on YouTube. And again, you know, sending you much love on your journey. Any questions before I let you go? Any questions at all? Last question that I can answer, or last share that you'd like me to read? Thank you, Jillian. Any questions? Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This was awesome. I hope it helped you a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, wonderful. I was going to talk about my book, but I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow I'll do a live, and I'll talk about Recall that's coming out. And it's based on a real story, mine. But okay, so we'll talk about that if you want. And I can read it at expert. But I think now we're good. I'm going to upload this as soon as I have it, and then go from there, okay? All right, namaste. Be well. Take care.